Hello. So today I want to tell you about the game Four Forests from Gold Seal Games. And this was sent to me as a review copy. And wow, is this a really cool game with such different gameplay every time you play. So this is a game for 2 to 4 players and it plays over 4 rounds. And what's happening is you have these creature cards and they are all double-sided and they have scoring conditions on them. So you're going to use 4 for a game, and it has ones it recommends. I'll just randomly turn 2 over. So these would be the 4 creatures that we would be using for this game. And what's going to happen is we are going to be playing plants out in front of us, and plants are how the scoring conditions on the creatures work. So for example, this one says, we prefer fruit and fungi that thrive in wet conditions. Score cards showing both a water icon and an even value. So if we look at our plant cards, this has no water icon, so it would not score. This one has a water icon and an 8, so it would score. So then that seems really easy. Like, obviously, we would just meet these scoring conditions with our cards and get a whole bunch of points, right? Not so simple. So we are going to be playing a card in front of us that will maybe give the people we are playing with some information about which we are going for. But then we're going to be voting on these creatures. And at the end of the game, whichever creature receives the most positive votes will be worth 4 points. Then the next one will be worth 3, and then 2. And then whatever gets the fewest votes will be worth -1. So then any cards you have that meet the conditions, this is how they will score. And you won't know this until the end of the game because none of the votes are revealed until the end of the game. So you start the game with 4 cards in your hand. And there is a first player token because you're going to pass this around the table. And as you play the game more, you can actually change up the order of the actions that are on the turn. But when you're learning the game, you play it in the order that it is. So cultivate, you take a card from your hand and you play it in front of you face up. And you'll want to do that kind of based on these conditions. So I'm going to place this in front of me face up. At the end of the game, I will have 4 cards face up in front of me and 4 cards in my hand. I will use all 8 of those cards for my scoring. Then the next option is to harvest/burn. So this is where we are going to vote. And how do we vote? We take one of the cards from our hand. And if I place it, it's going to be face down, but if I face it oriented this way, so the same way as the card, that is a vote in favor of that animal. If I place it this way, that is a vote against that animal. So this is how we determine the value at the end of the game. So let's say I'm playing against that animal. So everybody's going to put their cards wherever they want them. And because of the way the card backs are, you don't know if it's face up or face down. If you want, you can rotate it under the table so people don't see what you're doing. Then we're going to pollinate. Everyone is going to pass a card to their neighbor, and you must pass before you look at what you're given. So then you're going to receive a card, and then you are going to prune, which is where you are going to discard one of the cards you have out of the game. So I will discard this one, and then the first player token proceeds to the next person. So in the basic game, you're doing it in that order. Now, if you've played a few times, you can then, whoever is the first player gets to pick the order. So they're like, nope, I want us to prune first. You have to discard first. Then we're going to pass. Then we're going to vote. Then you can play in front of you. So you can change it up. So to start the next round, you then draw another 4 cards. So now I have 5 cards. So each round I'm going to have an additional card, which is why at the end of 4 rounds, I will have played 4 cards in front of me and have 4 cards in my hand, which I will then set down in front of me. We will figure out which creature is the most favored by totaling the positive and the negative votes for each creature. And we will then go into scoring. So I love that you don't know for sure which creatures are going to be the most favored, the most popular, have the best scoring options, but you do know how many cards are below each one. So you're getting some information. You're also getting some information when you see what people are playing and which things they may correspond to scoring wise. I love that all of the creatures are double-sided, so you have a ton of options for scoring, and you have so many creatures. You have 11 creatures total. So there are 22 different scoring conditions you can play with in any given game. And with that many plant cards, there's so much going on. There's the mind game aspect of it. It's super, super fun, but it fits in a small box and it teaches quickly. So I really enjoy Four Forests from Gold Seal Games. Have you played it? What do you think of it? Give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.